Try before we die. Single malt Scotch whiskey, we love it, no lie. Way up in New Hampshire at the bitter end, we're gonna draw a number, then the drinking begins. There's Colin and Malcolm too. Some friends have gathered, gonna do a show for you. Bottles will open, glasses will clink. They'll take a drink and let you know just what they think. Try before we die, with a bearded man and a British guy.
Welcome back to Try Before We Die, Season 3. We hope you're liking the bells and whistles that you've seen in the episodes already out there. Hello, Malcolm.
Hello, Colin.
I like the shirt today.
I'm trying. My wardrobe is being inspected as we speak, and there will be an upgrade based on the fact there was a lot of negative comments taken from significant others that I've been talking to.
I'll just say, your shirt from Season 3, Episode 1 matched your hair. It was an old man shirt. Your collar was off. It had some good wrinkles going on. So I appreciate you working on that.
It was the chairs. It's the chairs.
It's the chairs?
These chairs are too big for this area.
Not your posture.
Nothing to do with my posture. No, I was told I'm not allowed to do this anymore. I have to sit up.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
The crew is means business these days.
I remember the days when this was just a Scotch drinking event.
Yeah, but we want to create this archival record.
No, and I will say it is. Having had a chance to have a sneak peek, it has been pretty impressive so far.
Yep.
I'm like, wow. And I've gone back and watched like a couple of the episodes that we did earlier.
Yep. Remember when my beard was...
I know. Yeah. It's like you can see this progression as you go through the seasons that we're now to where we are right now. And the quality is just like, ooh, this is like a real deal.
Yeah, it's a thing. So on set today, we have a few guests.
I see that.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to... this would be seat 3. Rick is here with us, and Rick, we were doing some math earlier. We go back, it's got to be the late 80s, early 90s is our time together in Keene, New Hampshire.
Yes.
Keene State College. If it was the Venn diagram, not unlike you and I, the Venn diagram, you had a circle, I had a circle, and it would just meet now and then, whether it was at Panucci's Ale House or parties, house parties, just out and about in town.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's just great that you could join us. So it turns out you're a whiskey man yourself.
From way back.
Way back.
I go way back. My first taste of whiskey was when I was teething and they rubbed whiskey on my gums.
Yeah.
And so, Mom,
So, awesome. So thanks for joining us tonight for an episode of Try Before We Die.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you're excited to try a bottle that we've never opened. Some bottles are commonly available and some are pretty rare, maybe only 200 in the world.
I haven't slept in 3 days. I've been so excited.
Yeah.
This is like Christmas for me.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. All right. And we have in seat 4.
And this is Andrew Suits, who goes back again. Same difference. This is another
probably
person.
early 90s though, right? When did you roll into town? Keene.
91.
Yeah. And we were college roommates.
It's true.
Now, not on campus.
I didn't know you were actually enrolled in the college. I thought you were just...
That's me too. I'm like, who is this guy? This guy's going to school?
Yeah, I was baby stepping.
You're something.
You managed to figure it out and finish it.
Yeah. Yep.
I did not.
That was on Probate Street.
Probate Street, yeah.
Now, do you recall our other roommate's first name?
Well, there was Todd.
And what did I, and maybe you at times, regularly call him? Do you remember?
I don't want to do that.
It was a fruit.
It was a melon.
A melon.
Great guy, though.
Yeah.
Very nice
do you know? I would call it to his face, so I don't feel terrible.
What was his last name?
Melon.
We probably shouldn't do last names.
Okay, yeah.
But his family owned the toy store. Do you know how he became our roommate?
Jeez, I don't.
So in Panucci's one night, because we were desperate for that third person, so we could afford the $750 a month rent, $250 a person, and Todd needed a place to stay, and I was like, okay, you're the guy. You know, the thing that always annoyed me about him was the drum set in the basement under my bedroom.
That was me.
That was it.
No, it was him because he only knew one song, and it was a Rolling Stones song, and I forget which one it was, but it had a big drum opening, and he would come home and just go after it.
Right, he would play my drums.
Right, okay, so your drums didn't bother me. His drumming at
Yes.
3 a.m. bothered me.
Because he's an excellent drummer.
Yes, for sure. There's a difference.
There's a big difference.
Andy, do you go back with Scotch whiskey at all?
I got to tell you, I don't know anything smart to say about it, but I do enjoy it. I probably had a handful of different flavors. I'm excited to try some new ones.
Yep. Well, it's great that you're here. Yeah, and it's funny how much so much time has passed. Right. Like, because I'm in my 40s, but you must be in your 50s by now.
5-0.
Really? No.
I'm
Come on.
52.
40, what? You're 52?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're 50?
Yeah.
How old are you now, Rick?
58.
Good Lord.
See, you should hang around Rick more, because then you won't be the oldest guy around.
I know. He makes me feel young now.
Yeah.
And it's like one of
I
those
can't
things
do
like,
anything about the looks, though, man.
I know. Tell me about it.
His looks.
Yeah,
looks.
exactly.
Yeah. Nobody fixed that.
Because Rick also is another one that's from that Venn diagram. It's weird because all four of us in some way or
Have
another
different circles.
have all met each other in various circles. And me and Rick go back on the opposite side of yours.
Right, because you had your own
Correct.
circle, and so Rick probably, with your circle, probably intersected more
Correct.
than my circle intersected with
And
yours.
with Andy, it was more our Panucci's crossovers, him being down there, Maddie was there and stuff like that. And then I think it was also that drumming. You're obviously a lot better drummer than I am, but it was also that drumming that actually brought in. So now it's interesting that now we have this liquid that connects us all, you know?
Yeah.
And we're in a bar that you can experience something that probably you won't be able to experience unless you really, really try.
So, Rick, when I think about my history with you and your time in the late 80s, early 90s, I always go back to the beast that was at your side, right? I mean, you had an animal that stood 4 feet tall?
No, he was 32 inches at the back.
Okay.
Just seemed a bit weird.
But when he would sit,
Yeah.
his head would be at about 38 inches, almost 40 inches.
And a wolf.
He was mostly wolf. He was
Yeah.
a hybrid, but he was a high percentage hybrid. 75, 80%, and massive, looked like a dire wolf, and was the biggest teddy bear that you could ever imagine.
He was super. I remember, I don't remember who got the puppy, and we were down in Panucci's, and this puppy probably was big as this, and Arca's head is probably like this, and that puppy was yapping at him. And Arca just went down like this and just literally put his weight just enough to put the puppy down. And you were like, oh, he's going to gobble him up. And he didn't, because that dog was probably one, like you said, it was probably one of the most gentle giants I think I've ever met. And I remember when I first met you with him, being intimidated by it. I mean, the size of this thing. I mean, you're talking about something that's...
Well, and you're a big guy too, so you show up as a sort of a big
Yeah,
man
big burly
with this
guy, a big dog.
animal, right? You know, he can go before me.
Yeah, the sun walks out as he goes by the door. And I'm like, who's this guy with his massive dog? And then you're like waiting for this dog to just like tear loose and just start eating people. And no, I mean, you go up to her and just pet it and freaking he'd lie down with you, just hang out.
And so there was actually 2, if you remember, because I had his half-sister as
Correct.
well, Sadie.
Correct.
And Sadie was half Newfie. Aka's dad jumped the fence and got a Newfie. and she was the little one at 125 pounds.
Yep.
Good times.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Different times.
Yeah. It's good that our memories still work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those memories that probably would never go.
So, Andy, before we get to picking our bottle, I'm just curious. I let you know that I had that memory of that drum set at the bottom of Probate. Do you have any memory of Probate Street that is safe for a camera?
I think the thing that strikes my memory most about that place was where it sat in proximity to everything around it. So we were right in the middle of the legal district. You know, you had the courthouse across the street, the parking lot. There was 3 law offices, if I recall. The judge lived right behind us.
Yeah.
I used to shovel his walkway. Funny story is, his wife came out one day. I was shoveling the walkway, and I had Chuck Taylors or some kind of sneakers on, and she's like, well, "Where are your boots?" You know, and I was like, "I just can't afford boots right now." And she's like, "Don't tell my husband," and gave me $50. And luckily, I got boots for Christmas that year because I'm pretty sure I drank that 58. But and then Planned Parenthood to the left.
Yes, that's
And
right.
I think our landlord was like the DA or something.
We're going to have to sort of get to picking the number, but I will say when I did the lease, he ran my name through the criminal justice system. I think he was a retired officer, state trooper or something, and he came and said, "It's all set. You should pay that speeding ticket." So we were right across from the courthouse.
Probate Street, that's right.
Probate Street. You would have thought we would have put it together.
They never knew. If they only knew.
Yeah. So it's time to get to picking a bottle.
Yes.
And so I'm excited to see what we're going to drink tonight.
I'm always excited.
Yeah. So let's get after it. Here we go. Try before we die. Bottle number 199. So I'm going to go collect this bottle. So we're over here in the part of the bar we call the Smart Gun area. And at some point we'll have that conversation. But bottle number 199, it turns out, is on this shelf. Now, in doing the math, we were at 194 on the backside, so we have to come 5 across the top. So if you can see this, some of you probably already figured out at least the distillery. So we're at 95, 96, 97, 98. Now, this would have been a nice one, but we're here at one completely unfamiliar with. So it's we're pulling a Tomatin. We got if you've seen Young Frankenstein, we've got a in the background at the bar. So this is a Dualchas. So this is a bourbon and virgin oak cask Tomatin. I believe it's a no-age statement. I'll see y'all back at the bar. Well, I don't know if you heard, but it's Tomatin. It's
I have.
You know, I don't. Did you know what the bottle was that we just missed?
No. Do I want to know?
They don't release it anymore. So it would have been rare. Now this is an available bottle. This is the Tomatin Dualchas. Now dual means what?
2.
No, it means I'll meet you at dawn.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, all right, mate.
No, it means 2, dual.
What
So
is it E or A?
it's A. It was a pronunciation thing I just did with you.
Butchered.
So the Dualchas. So this is bourbon and virgin oak casks. And as we've talked a lot, Scotch almost always spends time in bourbon casks to pick up a lot of the sweetness and the flavors. So this is spending some time in a bourbon cask and then being transferred to some virgin oak. This is a no-age statement. Tomatin looks like this distillery's been around since 1897. We have very little information on the bottle. Rick, could you, what color would you describe that as?
Grade A amber maple syrup. It's got a honey hue to it, I would say.
That is a fantastic descriptor. It is very light.
It's a light
right.
color.
So a grade A fancy, right, is that very light maple syrup.
Yeah.
Right. Not my favorite flavor maple syrup.
Mine either.
I really go for the dark. Right. We've learned a lot, Mal. Something wrong with your eyes?
Actually, what I was going to bring up was, so based on our previous polls, would you say that's natural color?
Let's see. Would I say that's natural color? It does not say. So I would say this is not natural color.
But it looks like Scotch.
Meaning that spirit of caramel has been added to sort of make this
Brown.
consistency of its releases.
All right.
So, Andy, any thoughts? Have you had a Tomatin before?
Never.
Never. Rick, have you had a Tomatin before?
I have had the 12 and the 14. Is it a 14 that they
Mhm.
have?
Yeah.
So I've had those two.
18. Black and red. Black and red label. It's on the
Yeah.
backside.
Just missed it. There are some nice Tomatins.
Oh, was that?
Ah!
This is rubbish. We
Yeah.
do. We do.
198, not 199.
Yeah, I saw it. It was 8.
We could have cheated, but you see, we don't cheat. This is genuine. It's sincere. We drink what we get. Now, I've not
Was
had
it really?
this. It was really 198 was the
That's brutal.
18-year-old not being released anymore by the distillery. This is a distillery release. This is not a connoisseur's choice or an old malt cask. This is commonly available. That's why the spirit of caramel is quite likely been added to this. So they're releasing a lot of this. They want it to look the same in every store you go to. Can we drink it?
Yeah, we can drink it.
Rick, you up for a dram?
Absolutely.
Andy, you up for a glass of whiskey?
He's not scared.
He's not scared. All right, let's see if we can get this puppy opened up. It's got that. Did we recently have like a plastic top?
No, we had the soft. Well, I'm going to call it the soft top.
The soft top.
Because it basically made no noise.
No, not the cork pull.
Oh.
It wasn't a foil.
Oh.
Something.
Actually, that does ring a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we thought it was freaking a knockoff.
What do we call these again, Mel?
Your medals of honor.
These are all the bottles I've fought. We're going to start saving those.
I keep telling you, you should,
Yeah.
and we get the epaulets.
Yep. Oh, the snobby
The
tops.
snobby tops. We'll get those
All right,
as well.
this is your favorite
It
part.
is my favorite
All right,
part.
we'll do this. Okay, let's see if we have a nice pop.
Low.
So always turn first
Yeah,
to crack it
crack
free. Oh, I think it's going to give us a...
Oh, lively.
Those two sounds could have interchanged, it almost felt
Yeah,
like.
that was good. That was a good one. That's a nice lively ball.
Light, fragrant.
It's light, fragrant, and actually a little bit honey smell.
Yeah, it's got an element of sweetness.
You even know what that's. You deserve it, drinks. You're like me. That's great.
Gotta figure that out. Here you go, bud.
I want to watch his eyes bulge out of his head.
Oh.
Wait till he sees me grab this ball.
Yeah, I learned don't reach across, right? Oh, because I went from glass to glass and did a little spill.
Yeah, all right,
What are
all
you
right.
doing? You're like, oh, I'll
You
just spill into my
You
glass.
said.
Oh,
follow
match my pour?
You said follow your pour, because the last time I poured way too much for our guest, and our guest thoroughly enjoyed it.
You were the guest.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You poured yourself too. Look at you've just
Good.
you've just lent a nice hand to Andy Suits.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to be the pourer now. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Andy, you made a command it. Sorry, Andy.
It's my first time.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So this is the Dualchas bourbon,
Yeah, you need
virgin oak, 2 different casks. I'm going to have to pour and pass.
Because mine was
You
like
shortchanged
horrid.
yourself.
Mine's horrid.
So, Rick, look at that. So, as always,
Nothing on my notes.
color, legs. I'm going to go with thin, not as a criticism, but just as a notation.
But it has some legs.
Yeah, but it drops quickly. If you rotate the glass and get a nice loop or circle of leg, you can just watch it all fall right back in. You're not doing it. This. Watch my glass. Watch my and watch it all drop
look at
right
that.
down. Yeah.
Look at that rubbish.
You got nothing. Your hand's in the way. You got to hold the bottom of the
Yeah,
glass.
whatever.
Somebody needs to give you a manual. The Dualchas, a Tomatin release, no age statement. Bourbon casks often will be looking about some vanilla and whatnot. So let's see what we get on the nose and then in the mouth.
You can pick up the bourbon.
Not medicinal. So I did a sneak peek. On the bottle was very hard to read. I am stunned at a flavor I have picked up. And I'll be curious if anybody has picked up this flavor. I am stunned. It is a first time flavor for me. And so what I'd like to do is prompt you. Rick, I have tasted some pineapple in that whiskey.
Okay, I was gonna go fruit, but
Right.
I couldn't put a finger on it.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the sweetness.
Right. It's a very sweet. There is a pineapple in this whiskey. Andy, do you pick up on any of that?
I don't know if I taste pineapple, but it is sweet. It's not too harsh.
Yeah, it's not medicinal. Right. Malcolm, are you in the SpongeBob realm?
No,
No?
I cannot pick up any sort of fruitiness to it. What I do pick up,
Really?
what I do pick up is almost the sweetness you get from a bourbon cask. I don't feel like this is like a super sweet. And I don't think that, and I'm not a huge pineapple fan to begin with.
Okay.
But I would say that I don't pick up that type of fruitiness. I'm just not getting it. I have more of that bourbon taste, that biting taste that you get from a bourbon, that you get when, especially like some of the like, not the low ends, but like if you go for a Jack or a Jim, you have that sweetness, but it's not like sweet.
Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
In checking out their tasting notes, and gentlemen, Rick, Andy. Mal, do you remember a game we used to play at the bunkhouse in paintball, sitting around a campfire, that you were the center of attention in, and we all had a penalty?
Marshmallow now?
Marshmallow Mal. Do you remember that game?
Yes.
Where you'd put a couple of marshmallows behind your eyes. So it turns out in the Dualchas tasting notes, they are asking us to consider marshmallow. And so some of that sweetness. And so I'm gonna pay a little bit of attention on my next sip here for that. If there's any marshmallow or lemon or vanilla in here, those are the tasting. Those are the tasting
The
notes.
vanilla I'd give you, and maybe that's what you would consider marshmallow in a Scotch. Like we've had this conversation before, it's hard to like black and white. This is pineapple. It's not.
It's easy. That's pineapple. What do you got, Andy?
Now that you mention it,
Oh, good Lord. Really? You're going to back it
I'm
up?
getting some Rice Krispie treats out of this.
Oh, actually,
I think so.
Are you there, Rick?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with the Rice Krispie treats. So I did get the marshmallow on the blowout,
Yep.
and so that kind of solidified it.
Yep.
It was the aftertaste.
This is a whiskey for dessert.
that was a good call, Suits.
Yep. All right. So I think that we've all enjoyed our Tomatin Dualchas.
Yes,
So,
it's rather pleasant.
So Rick, Andy, one of the ways we end our episodes, or the way we traditionally end our episode, is by
Butchering someone's language.
irritating somebody's language. So today we're going to go to a tribal region of Equatorial Guinea and Nigeria. It's the Igbo tribe, where their cheers. Where did I get this?
Seriously.
Back of a comic book.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So in the Igbo tribe, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, I think there's about 20 million members of this tribe. Their cheers, their toast is Umamanu.
Seriously?
Seriously. The Dualchas. Tomatin.
Yes.
Marshmallows, lemon, vanilla.
That was a good call.
Especially when you do more than just
Big-
a
a
little
big-
time. When you put a nice
Right.
amount into your mouth, then you can really start to
Right.
taste those
But
flavors.
I
When
still
you-
don't get the pineapple.
When you have the tasting notes to work with, it becomes a little easier to know what you're looking for. And
And you can
again,
pretend so you don't.
With a bearded and a British guy.